Hi, Teresa. I'm so excited for this conversation. We haven't caught up in a little while, so I'm really looking forward to hearing what's changed in your business over the last 12 months or so. So please do share a bit about yourself.
But that's always the hardest question, isn't it? Once we've got that one out of the way, we'll be fine. But introducing myself is always a bit of a challenge. But let's go for I am a coach and have been for about 13 or 14 years, something like that. Most of my career has been spent with associate roles, and I've had some really, really wonderful associate roles over that time, and just spent the longest time thinking about my own offer and or niching yeah, and I think maybe at about year 10 or 11, really start to think a little more seriously about that, and then think you come into the story around year 12 or 13, and then something was forming, it was very organic, very slow, and the thing that kind of came to the fore, was from my own experience, was an interest in shadow work that brought a huge amount of clarity and relief and ease into my world, both personally and professionally. And because of that, I then thought, well, maybe other coaches might benefit from the same insights, really, that I'd gained from shadow work. So when I met you, that was sort of, how do I bring shadow work for coaches to market? How do I put some shape around that? And you helped me. And I guess we'll talk more about that because that's what I'm doing more of right now.
Yeah, I had no idea that you were 12, 13 years into your coaching journey when you joined. So that's just a delight to hear. And also, it's so interesting that the shadow work was only just emerging because it feels like to me that you've been doing it forever. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear more. So, if we think back to around October 2024, was it you joined? I think so. Tell us a bit more about what was going on for you at that time.
A couple of years earlier, I tried to bring a business to market and did all the received wisdom stuff. And that was just shadow work. Bleh. Like, bleh. Because was turning 50 and I wanted to give myself a business as a 50th birthday present. But I wasn't ready and I wasn't joined up yet. And so I kind of launched and mothballed really quickly within a couple of months. And then the idea slowly took more form and more shape. It just needed to mature a little in my system. So in the spring of 24, I ran a retreat for coaches around kind of understanding how to work with shadow as part of a reflective toolkit. And it was incredible and it blew me away. It was way more impactful than I could have hoped, really. And then another coach that I know invited me to deliver that workshop at her retreat in the summer. So I had another experience of something that blew me away, was incredible. So I was like, well, maybe I've got something here. The feedback was so, so good. So then I tried to market a third iteration and realized I was talking to felt like the same 6 people on LinkedIn going, I've got a thing. I've still got a thing. Maybe, you want to come and I was like, well, that's not going to work, is it, as a strategy? So when I came to you, I was like, I think I've got something and I've no idea what to do with it. Was really, and there was a little bit of urgency as well because I had another retreat that I was marketing and I just really felt that I was doing it blind with hands tied behind my back. So that was where I came, kind of clarity over my gormlessness. Was like no clarity over anything else, but I was really clear at how gormless I was. I think I was the perfect candidate for you, really.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's brilliant. And I'm remembering back to our onboarding form when, yeah, this was all forming and maybe it wasn't articulated yet. And certainly the marketing wasn't really on your radar. It was like, what do you mean? I don't ask people to work with me, but they maybe just occasionally ask me if they can work with me. And also extending the invitation to people that were outside of your current network at that time felt quite alien, I think.
Yeah.
But you grabbed it quite quickly and implemented. So can you think back to maybe your first moments in the program and what changed?
I think there was a really quick, easy win, maybe if I phrase it like that, which was building the LinkedIn audience. And it's so funny because you don't know what you don't know. I mean, I say it now and it just feels like, I mean, it was such an easy win, but I didn't know that I didn't have a proactive stance on LinkedIn. So you just kind of walking me through quite a simple process around reaching out to people, building relationships, that felt really empowering. And the relief, oh, I can do something. But it felt congruent because it was about building relationships and there was an authenticity there that felt really important to me. I really get turned off by doing anything that is received wisdom that feels like a stretch. I'm doing it because I should or because I have to or because others do. Turns me off. I can't look at that face, you know? Whereas this just felt lovely. And so, you know, anything that feels lovely is integrated in and so I feel like I got off to a really strong start just with that kind of one simple thing that I think it was in one of our first conversations.
Yeah, totally. And then I know also when you started, you said you got loads of things on, so it might be stop, start. Tell us more about the rest of the journey from that point to where you are now.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's a tricky one. I mean, my personal life, everything fell apart in my personal life pretty soon after I started working with you.
Oh,
So yeah, you know, work has always been a place of kind of solace, and I get so much, you know, such a sense of purpose and satisfaction from my work. So there was an intention to continue to kind of focus on work, and there were times I could, and then there were times that I couldn't. Uh, and I so appreciated your humanity and your generosity and flexibility in the way that you held me really lightly within the program, you know, so that I would turn up when I could turn up and then I wouldn't when I couldn't. And you held me with such grace through all of that. And then there came a point where it was like, actually, I can't think about work at all. And we just had a bit of a pause. So and that was just really, really useful. And then you were a beacon for me because the outside circumstances meant that actually I could settle and start to think about work again, you were just there as this beacon. And it was so great actually then to pick up. That's what it felt like. There was a real sense of momentum, even though there'd been a bit of a gap. And then what I did in that last tranche with you has been transformational and changed everything actually. So I think there was a lot of stuff that was percolating in the gap that then meeting with you just sort of catalyzed everything and everything's dropped into place and now I'm good to go. So yeah, it was an interesting trajectory, but yeah, you really met me with kindness and I'll be forever grateful.
oh, thank you, Teresa. Yeah, I haven't only just remembered. I know at the time you obviously had all that upheaval in your personal life, and it's just insane now looking back at how you've come through that. So thank you so much for sharing and reminding us all that life gets in the way sometimes, but it's all leading you eventually to the strength that you've got now.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us more about the pivotal moments and what really helped you to build the strong business that you have now.
So I was thinking about this morning and I kind of made myself laugh out loud. I was brushing my teeth at the time, which so it's not the most. And I was like, gosh, I don't know how you're going to take this, but I was like, because I was thinking about what, you know, like there are some key moments. And I was like, what do they remind me of? They remind me of something. And I couldn't quite put my finger.
I'm dreading to think.
Then you know the film Big.
I know the film Big because the first time I met my husband, we watched the film Big, and he was like, "You're not crying at Big."
Of course I'm crying at Big.
So yes, I know the film Big. Tell me more. Am I the little boy in this?
Please keep breathing. Please just keep breathing. 'Cause I knew this wasn't going to land well with, but I honestly, it's with such love. There's the moment when the big executives have done a presentation and they're like, we've got a transformer and it's a robot that turns into a building. And they're all like, wow, wow, there's a robot that turns into a building. And he just goes, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. Those were the moments. Those are the moments of your absolute genius. Because what I love about you is that you just do cut through all the bullshit, but with that kind of genuine curiosity. And you're not trying to be something. You're not trying to be smart or clever. You're not trying to outwit. Like, it's a genuine, but almost that kind of childlike curiosity. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? And when you do that, it's like, oh, shit, I don't get it either. Why am I doing it? Like, oh God, I'm completely overcomplicating things. You're right. That doesn't make any sense. We had a few of those. We had one around pricing that has changed me completely. And I've done so much work on pricing over the years and money demons and money. Like, I've done so many programs, but you just almost almost saying that, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And seeing me through your eyes just unlocked something. So thank you for that. And yet complications around segmentation. Well, you can't work with me if you're not at this, and you can't work with me if you haven't done that. And you just go, well, I don't get it.
I think I kept saying, but I want to work with you, Teresa, but I just can't make your retreats. And you go, sorry, I only work with people who can make my retreats. So I'm just going to wait now for a whole 12 months.
If you want me, I shall be in a box, in a cupboard with a lock to get. Yeah, exactly. So the clarity, that I think that's part of your genius, because it's with love, cutting through everything and going, is that really what it like? Oh, so love that. Yeah.
Oh, totally. So tell us more about what's different now in your life and your business.
I have clarity, isn't that something as coaches that, it's a big word. And it did take a long time. There was a lot of that kind of making it harder for myself, putting blocks in the way. I remember coming to you with a visual that I'd created that had about, 84 different touch points. And that doesn't exist anymore. It's much clearer, much more simple, much more doable. There's flow, there's a sense of energy, and there's lots of different ways that people can work with me. And I guess one of the things, well, the clarity gives me is enthusiasm, and that's vital for me. I only want to ever work from a place of enthusiasm. If things are getting too gnarly or too complicated, I can get detached from that energy, and then that feels really destabilizing. Whereas I look at the year ahead right now and I just think, oh, I'm really keen to do that. Oh, and that feels fun. And wouldn't that be gorgeous? And oh, I get to play. So I've just got a year ahead now of things that feel really simple, light touch, gorgeous, and fun. There's work to do, of course, but it's contact with humans, talking about something that I'm passionate about. What's not to love, So, yeah.
Oh, love it. People always struggle with this one, but I'll ask it anyway. Biggest takeaway from the program?
I don't get it. If I'm really honest, the pricing thing, something fundamental shifted within me. And it was really interesting because I was selling on a sessional basis, an hourly rate. So getting to the point of putting a package up online and pricing it at a level that other people were telling me made sense, but felt really wildly uncomfortable for me. And then I sold one of each package pretty much straight away, which felt like the universe patting me on the back and saying, finally, at long last, where have you been? Welcome. It's okay. That whole sequence of you saying it, me putting it together, putting it up online and selling, there's a lot of kind of permission. And it feels like a key change, really. So yeah, I think that whole piece was the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I remember it well. And yeah, it was just like finally you were open to receive.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's next for you, Teresa? You've mentioned a few exciting things. Tell us more.
Yeah, so lots and lots of fun things. So I'm running my retreat for coaches in March. I'm about to launch a short course. I want to take little kind of bits so people can dip their toe in. So I've got a few ideas for short courses. People can just jump on and kind of get a feel and an experience of working with shadow. I'm doing a face to face in London in the summer, so like a 1 day introduction, because being together in a room with other coaches, it's so wonderful. And then I'm taking kind of the core approaches to working with shadow, and I'm going to create an online program. Some people have expressed a preference for online, so we can work together over a longer period of time. So you can learn something, go away, live it, breathe it, come back, reflect, learn something else. These are all creative endeavors, so it's a year of creativity and connection with others. So yeah, lots that I'm kind of bringing to life over the year.
Yeah, totally. And do you have an email list? Because I'm always missing out on your retreats and all of the amazing things you're selling. Do you have an email list? And if so, how can people get on it? Because I know your retreats and most things you do sell out really quickly.
Yep. So just on my website, so teresawilsoncoaching.com, you can sign up to my newsletter there. And I'm an infrequent poster, but I am using that. So people on the mailing list will hear first and will get special offers too. So yeah, good place to be is on my newsletter.
Love it. I joined myself yesterday after being gutted that I've missed your retreat again. So, would you recommend the program? And if so, who to?
Oh gosh, absolutely. Yeah, I would and have and do. So that's an easy yes. And I guess I would recommend it to anyone who's sitting on a pivot. It's uncomfortable, doesn't it? But I guess what I mean by that is it's not just coaches who are starting out. I wasn't, but I was about to pivot. I didn't have the clarity over where I was pivoting to or what that looked like. So it might be that you're pivoting into coaching. And I think your program is fantastic for people who are just starting out. And there's a lot of camaraderie and support around people just starting out. But equally, if you're wanting to make a move in your business, there's so much support, structure, received wisdom, and that one-to-one personalized care as well. So yeah, I think your program can hold people at different stages of their coaching career with different needs. So
Totally. I'm seeing a big lean towards that now. Someone's joined recently who's been in the game for 20 plus years. There's lots of people that maybe had associate work for a long time that now want to build their own thing as well. So, yeah, it's a joy to hear. And it's just a joy to work with people at so many different stages because the market's changing so quickly and has changed so rapidly.
yeah, sure.
It just helps to all keep sharing learning so we can all move forward with so much more ease.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
No, well, thank you so, so much, Teresa. It's a joy to work with you. I feel so, so lucky to have been able to. And yeah, I cannot wait to continue to see your progress.
Thank you so much. That flew by. I want to do it all over again.